Hi there, Vladimir here, with another video about how to learn English. As we talk about word frequency, we also talk about grammar frequency. As we talk about common words, we also talk about common grammar. There is no such thing as a difficult word. Words are not difficult or easy. Words are either common or rare. There is no such thing as a difficult grammar. Grammar is not difficult or easy. English grammar is either common or rare. We are lucky that English turned out the lingua franca of our time. Lucky because English grammar is relatively easy to learn. Try learning the grammar of some of the other major languages like Russian, German, Spanish, or Japanese before you complain about English grammar. English grammar is much easier. But then again, easy and difficult are not the right categories. It's not the right mindset. You shouldn't think of a word or grammar as being easy or difficult. Words and grammar are common or rare, frequent or uncommon. According to Oxford dictionaries, the 1,000 most common words account for 75% of the English language. What is the situation with English grammar? Which are the most common grammar tenses in English? I will base my answer on my personal observation as well as some scientific research. Research done by one Kramsky, a Czech general linguist, and his paper on verb form frequency in English. He summarized some research done on 3 different English text types: fiction, colloquial, specialized. We will focus on colloquial, spoken language. The second column here, the percentages. The most frequent grammar tense in English is the present simple, about 50%. And no surprise here. We use the present simple all the time. Well, half of the time. When we talk about our jobs, about our hobbies, routines and habits, when describing things. The present simple is the most common grammar in English learners' dictionaries. Words' definitions are usually explained in the present simple. Dictionary, a book that contains a list of words in alphabetical order and that explains their meanings or gives a word for them in another language. Notice the S in the third form. Contains, explains, gives. The present simple is the most common verb tense in English. Most dictionary definitions are in the present simple, but if you look closely, as you should, you will notice the past simple. Ancestor, a member of your family who lived a long time ago. Of course we use the past simple. We are storytellers. We talk about our last vacation, last business meeting, last girlfriend or boyfriend. We use the past simple in spoken language all the time. Well, 20% of the time, according to Kramsky. And more than double that if we talk about fiction. Quite understandably. Lots of stories are in the past tense. But in spoken English, the past simple is the second most common grammar tense. The third one is the future simple with will, about 9%. And in dictionaries too. Prediction, a statement about what you think will happen in the future. Of course, the future. We talk about the future all the time. The fourth most common verb tense in English is the present perfect, about 6%. The present perfect and its close cousin, the present perfect continuous, are one of the most difficult grammar structures in English. Look closely and you will see them in various definitions. Success. The fact that you have achieved something that you want and have been trying to do or get. Wow. 3 birds with 1 stone. The present perfect, the present simple, and the present perfect continuous. So, there you have it. The top 4 most common grammar tenses account for more than 85% of spoken English. Those are the grammatical structures you need to learn first. I've written a whole book on English grammar, from the viewpoint of a non-native speaker of English. From the viewpoint of someone who has consciously studied English grammar and is very much aware of how non-native speakers perceive and produce grammar. My book, English Grammar and Functions, is available on Amazon and virtuallynative.com.